Well, blessed be on this night, on this summer solstice, the holiday of Letha, and to the solar ones, to the fire deities, to the lords and the deitresses of harvest and of fruitful bounty and of sensual pleasures, that we've made it here. So here is a folk altar devoted to the summer season, and it's kind of eclectic, but you don't really have to go overboard when you're putting together little folk altars out of odds and ends that you have in your house. And it's also a day that, because I've been working with Relajma Mashimon, or San Simon, or San Simon Judas from Guatemala in Central America. He is an interesting divinity, Catholic Mayan fusion saint being, Lord of gamblers and drunkards and hedonists and pleasures, and also money, and pretty much just about everything. He does venerate prostitutes and thieves and organized crime, and also holy people and devoted couples. So he's kind of all around there. A lot can be researched on him on the internet. And explaining this, okay, we have offerings here also to Loki. You see a fish over there, could be a trout or a salmon, in his form in the Norse mythology, Loki. And depending on what version you get, whether he's associated with fire, since the Richard Wagner operas, um, The Ring and others. But yeah, so we have him here in his fish, in his salmon form. I have a nice golden apple there, golden apples of eternity. We have a Grinch there with sweet water and cinnamon to represent the underworld associated with Mashimon. We have some containers in a glass there of sweet wine because I didn't have any rum or anything harder. We have sweets for Loki over there, some nice sweet white chocolate truffles, and using the sea turtle to represent the turtle or tortoise related with a form of Shoshipi, the flower prince, and also lord of alcohol and pleasure of the Aztecs, the Mexica. I've got a monkey there with antlers. Why? Because it's one of the trickster forms, one of his animals of Lord Tezcatlipoca of the Mexica Aztecs, one of his sacred animals. And since it's a trickster, he has the horns to represent the sacred horned lord, obviously the deer lord, found worldwide, and in particular Cernunnos of the Celts. We have the cross there, the Christian iconography. We have Marian, Mother Mary of the Marian Beatrices of the Eastern Star. We got a thing over there in the corner of the Wizard of Oz with Dorothy to represent the young maiden. I've got cat symbolism there to represent the energy of Bastet, and of also the cat form of Lord Ra and other cat deities. We've got the male and female little squirrel salt shakers there, representing the male and female polarities. I've got some cheap over there to the far right next to Mashman Cat. I got some cheap $5 men's cologne to represent kind of the lowly glamour, cheap cologne aspect of the street male in his own sacredness. Um, and let's see, we got a rose there to represent deities that favor red roses, in particular red, such as the lady um, Aphrodite, Venus, Ishtar, and also to some degree also uh, Aries, Mars, and let's see what else. So you don't really have to really go all out. This is we have of course the cross there to represent the Eastern Star, but obviously the cross in its pagan form was used to also represent an aspect of Mashimon, the fusion from the Mayan mom, Relaj mom, and into Saint Simon or San Simon or San Simon Judas. So we have the cross that also represents Lucifer of the Romans, and also Quetzalcoatl, Xolotl in his forms of the Eastern Star. So I'm working with a lot of male energies here. We do have the female polarity here. So, without further ado, in this age of the Kali Yuga, I do want to venerate, a little close up here. I got that great crystal here, kind of in the shape of the Tower of Babel, which represents the global belief systems of faith and of pagan energies and folk magic and shamanism. And of course, we got Saint Simon over here next to some sweet clover honey for all the divinities that favor sweets, including Loki. So we're not ignoring him. And in this age of the Kali Yuga, we do venerate, of course, the powers of Lord Bhairav. So I'm going to open up this working here, this blessing. Om Harim Barahi Samathaya Maha Bhairav Harimum Swaha. I'm going to venerate Azonozo, who protects the space. Om Maharga Vajrasnisa Vajrasat Pajahum Banhu. And of course, to the Hindu, one of the calls of nature, Vikruti Ivan Prakriti, that blesses forces working. And obviously for Ralaj Mamashimon, I've got a prayer here that I wrote down. This is the Oración del Puro, which means purity, prayer of purity or prayer of the cigar. And I didn't have any cigars or cigarettes, but I'm sure we have flames there and we have sweets and other things. So Mashimon will understand this is a blessing. We're not making demands of him. This is in respect and a lot of love. He has, as you can see, he's got his money bag there and he's got his flagpole staff. That can also be a machine gun or a gun or a narco-trafficante, depending in Central America, Guatemala, or southern Mexico, or wherever. He's even venerated in Melbourne, Australia, and in Europe. So his sector, his cult is worldwide, is very interesting to work with. So I'm going to read the Oración del Puro, which favors very well not only the holiness of the Tantric Catholicism, Christianity, but also of the left-hand path. So here is the Oración del Puro. I conjure you pure in the name of Satan, Luzbel, and Lucifer. Dogs bark, cats howl, children cry, and thus as you conquered the heart of your father and your mother, thus you had conquered the heart of all of us that worship and venerate you for me, so that I will go singing through all regions until the seventh region. And he is venerated with 7 different color candles in some cases, 7 different colors. So there's a lot that can be researched on Relajma Mashimon or Mashimon. And that when you do work with him, that, when you make deals with some of these beings or whatever, because he is, of course, of a Mayan origin, you really have to use consideration when you're just asking for things and making offerings and all. But in veneration and respect and everything, he is appreciative and his energy is protective. Now, if you like to drink, you like to smoke, or you like to use ganga, marijuana or other intoxicants, that is the domain of Lord Bhairav, Lord Byron, in the aspect of Shiva, also of Goddess Kali, and also Shoshi Piyi of the Aztec pantheon, and of Relajma Mashimon. He also is a lord of sexuality, very strong male sexuality, obviously women, no doubt. And, you kind of want to use him for positive ends. Of all of these deities, all these beings, to come with them with love, with understanding. And obviously, if you enjoy sex, you enjoy responsible pleasure and intoxicants, you want to thank them for all the goodness. You want to thank them for good health and also taking care of your body, because that is your temple. And to do it with an understanding, even if you're working with left-hand path beings, like I just called out, obviously some of the left-hand path beings, but obviously Lucifer is Roman. They've kind of taken him out of his context. And there are many different forms of the Eastern Star to work with, because today is Venus Day. It is a full moon, and we are in the holiday season of Litha. And among the Celtic divinities, it is a day very strongly associated with Lugh, the lord of the sun, and of warriors and of craftspeople, and also a trickster. So he's kind of mischievous and can be a little bit on the criminal side too. So all of these deities, they can have their chthonic aspects. Loki, of course, is famous, infamous for his fun and mischief and everything. And I always want to include sweets with him. As you can see, we have money over here for Mashimon so that he can kind of savor the energy, bless it for all the good and bounty that he brings. And with every taste of alcohol, I feel blessed. And, I have these scissors here to cut the binds of the first part of the year, the negativity of the winter and of the spring, and we're in election season, so we cut off all of that and we split the year now into the second half, all the adventure, all the energy, even though it's an election year. So yes, we bless the cutting of old binds, now for the time of fruitful harvest. We have, of course, our little, our athame over here, which is this. So we bless all the corners and the great above, great below. And we bless forth, all that the divine ones give us, and the fertility, the love, the sensuality, protection, and travel. And you want to keep it positive, when you're working with them, even though they may have an aspect which is chthonic or is left hand, and they have an aspect, there are other deals to deal with, obviously negativity or banishings or hexings. So with these, I do so with respect and understanding and with love, unconditional love. And obviously to Avalokiteshvara, the Buddha of infinite compassion, I also bless unto him, Om Mani Padme Hum, and obviously to the blessings of the Tantric Buddhist divinity saints, obviously Fadampa Sangye, the father of Chad, and also Lord Padmasambhava, the father allegedly of tantric Buddhism, so Om Ahum Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Hum. So I do work with the tantric divinities, and I find that they're very receptive. And also, this is the age of the Kali Yuga, so we are understanding of the entity Kali Asura, his energy and his power into 5 different places that he was given domain in this earth when Lord Krishna died in 3102 BC. So it's a very active night. And today, auspicious, what happened locally here, we have an Irish bar called Molly Malone's that was set on fire in West LA, mysteriously in broad daylight. What had caused it? That's like a place that people go there for St. Patrick's Day and other holidays and hearing bands. It's a wonderful, wonderful pub on Fairfax Avenue. So that happened today, and the Green Man, the Celtic pagan spiritual store on Lancashire Boulevard in North Hollywood, they had closed already over about a week or so to move to Burbank. So they're now closed. So we have kind of like a Celtic energy that's kind of in shift and change. And as I said before, it is a full moon. It is Litha. It is the summer solstice. So there's there's a lot of auspicious events, but we want to take everything which is negative and turn it positive. So we take a blessing of all the divine ones, the beings that obviously fire of life of the sun, of the changing of the seasons, and obviously the the fires that right now happening across the country with the seasonal change and the waters of summer storms. And I hear my the cat I'm taking care of, Sly Cat. He's very sensitive at night right now with everything that's happening, so he's going off. So yes, blessed be and enchantment to all. And obviously for anyone who are working with Relajma Mashimon, San Simon Judas, and his other names, do so with respect, with love, with generosity, and try to focus really on the goodness of relationships. And for those of you who love sex, to be responsible lovers, don't go spreading disease indiscriminately. Really take things that we call vices and turn them into something that are, indulgent, responsible acts for a healthy body. Okay? So with that, we close. And Namo Mira Butsu to the Buddha Amitabha that we love and respect. And let us all enjoy this wonderful season. We want it to be the best possible, even though we're facing challenges. So blessed be to all.